BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. So, welcome to this 50 minutes of experience. Today I'm with Sopiko Makharadze, and she's in Berlin. Is a really nice photographer, and welcome, Sopiko.
Hi, and thank you that you're having me today here.
It's really a pleasure for me, and it's really nice to meet you. And as you know, I would like if you can introduce a bit of yourself, then we can go a bit more deeply and with the flow.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Sopiko, as you mentioned. I'm currently living in Berlin. I'm originally from Georgia. I grew up in Tbilisi. I studied there. I finished my bachelor degree in Georgia, and after that, I have decided to move in Berlin, and to continue my study here. I'm currently living in Berlin. As I said, it's already 3 years that I moved in this city, and I'm a student. I'm studying at Humboldt University, and my direction is culture and religion science.
That's really cool and really interesting. But yeah, today let's talk about a bit about photography, and let's start with this. Your profile, your portfolio is full of portrait of people. That's in a way get my attention because it's nice to find always people want to get in touch with other humans, and especially in a way like the portrait you do it. So you are totally in front of people, and these people in a way accept that you are there. And I like that because there is more than photography, there is interaction. And I would like to ask you if you can tell me some interaction we had with these people, how they touched you, and what did you discover through then doing a picture?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for your compliments. It's always like that. I'm always walking with my cameras, and if suddenly I'm discovering someone or something interesting, I'm starting to capture that. But when I'm taking the pictures with the people, it's like bit different. I'm always asking because I want to have like more intimacy from that person, and I want to have more deep connection with others. Maybe I want to have deep connection with myself as well. And I'm always searching something different, not just like beautiful thing, perfect composition or shapes or something like more deeply. I'm trying to discover what's behind of this person, and that's my maybe trying to do that, and maybe that's the idea of my portraits as well. It could be like for me this like perception of visual art is very important, I could say.
Yeah, I agree totally. I'm totally in that field. I've seen that some of these people are also from your country. And I could imagine that you started to make this kind of portrait already when you were in Georgia, right?
To be honest, I started to take this kind of portrait photography from the time when I moved in Berlin. And after that, every time when I was traveling or going back to my country, I was searching the same thing, what was interesting for me. And especially that first lockdown inspired me. That's like strange thing, but that's maybe opposite side of this of that situation. And when I was going outside and seeing the people, it became kind of thing to be connected with them. Like it was like a thing that was happening to helping to me to be in touch with the people and to connect with them. And that last pictures what I posted in on my account, this is from this last summer when I was in Georgia.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love the things that you have a lot of character, a lot of subject. They are middle old, we can say, you know, and it's probably a really interesting topic because actually, especially in a city like Berlin, old people are always in a way put it out from the society. You know, it's like I don't know, probably it's this research of freedom and this influence to be always young in a way, you know, that also make people avoiding the existence of old people. So then it's really nice for me to see these portraits and to see that there is the interest you have of these old people. And I always think about, yeah, it will be super nice to have more report about old persons because in a way, yeah, they have a totally different perspective about the world, no? And
Yeah.
I want to ask you that if you are working actually on a project or you're just taking this picture because of pleasure to do it, I mean, without any goal, or if you have some goal about.
Yeah. In the beginning, when I was in Georgia, it was like I was always taking the pictures just for pleasure. It was like something that was happening in holidays or when I was in a trip with my families or with friends. But after a while, I have discovered that it's something more than just taking the pictures. It's like something very deep is standing behind that. And I started to do like a small projects just for myself because streets of Berlin always inspiring me, and it was like always full of individualism, cultural diversity, and I discovered that crowd areas was the place where I was feeling most comfortable, and I had that feeling that's so beautiful when I see that colorful people, like different personalities, and I just started to make like a notes with a picture, like to have like a diary, so just for myself, because after a while I think it will be very interesting when I will see again my work and take a look, because I remember when it was like first lockdown in Berlin, especially face masks inspired me, because I was thinking, okay, I'm sure that it will go, and I'm interested in how it will looks like after 10 years later or after 20 years later, when I will be old and when I will check this pictures. I'm sure I will have something different, and that will not be normal, I'm sure. And that's why I started that time to take people with a face mask, and I was always like choosing a subject, and I was following that subject. I'm having plans as well, because I can imagine to combine my profession and photography as well, and I think that would be a good idea if I will do that parallel.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, photography is a tool that can be combined with everything. And when I say everything, I'm not saying something in a stupid way. I mean, it's a tool is born to research, to better research and have then documents, visualize these documents. I mean, there is not something happened because of just a lucky situation that sociology and photography born in the same year.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly, the tool. I mean, photography for sure is born much more before, but the necessity was totally different because, as you know, in the history, there was a really moment of changing also the level of the education of the society. So people were much more able to read and to see some realities that before they were not able to see, and then they needed absolutely to combine these tools, and I say it's working with everything because in a way or another we have photography for everything, and what I like a lot is that everyone is available to shoot picture that have sense, as something I think is really important, and that's why I talk often about in this podcast, that the sense of the picture, not only the beautiful picture. I mean, as you know, our also society it's focused on an aesthetical part of the visual communication, but sometimes, yeah, it's really important to have a good taste. I have to say in aesthetical, but it's also important to know what you're talking about. And what I see in your portfolio is for sure a great emphasis to the subject. I mean, I don't feel there is no one subject I feel is uncomfortable in front of you, and that it's really. I mean, I admire that because it's a good point. In a way, that means also your personality is like it is. It's comfortable for them, and I would like to talk with you now about some dream. Let's talk about dream. I really like to sometimes talk about dream and to go a bit more deeply in what would you like to do in the future? What are your dream? I mean, if let's say if someone listen this podcast, let's say someone has money to invest on your project, on your dream, what would you like to do it?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Firstly, I will start about that visual side that you mentioned. I think, especially in this time when social platforms came in our life, they changed perception of visual art. That's what I mentioned from the beginning as well. And the main thing became for us shape and beauty and aesthetic side. But I think that ideology and message, what was standing behind of that picture, it always was there, and it was, I think, the main thing of the photography. And I would say maybe that's my my dream as well, like to have that opportunity to bring that message on the table and to show the people, but to say what will be my future dream or future shootings. And I don't have something like that, but I could imagine to have this whole traveling period in my life with my cameras, and to have that opportunity to do that what I'm doing. I'm sure there will be a couple of interesting projects, and I don't have something like that I would say that's my goal, but that the process will be my dream.
Yeah,
As it
I
is
mean,
like
I'm totally on the same page because I'm not the person is setting a lot of goal, but more what I think more about what I like, what inspire me. So then the freedom to doing something, no, more than to reach the goal. And let's say, yeah, it's something you will never stop to doing. I mean, I mean, imagine you do it with photography, and I think you don't get paid, to doing photography. I mean, not often can happen that someone pay you to doing photography, as I understand, no. But let's say, so then you do this shoot most of the time for free, no? So
Yeah.
you invest in yourself, you take the shoot, you invest your time and your money. And let's say, what would you like to doing if in the same way you get paid for? I mean, you don't have to, there is this idea that people has in a way to deal with something. I mean, in the end, most of people think that you have always to eat a bit of shit when you have to get money. And I'm not. I mean, in this situation, I'm agree, but in other situation, I'm not agree. And I think that you always can drive in a way the car you want without eating the shit. And yeah, I think there is a possibilities. I mean, there are many possibilities for you to don't eat shit and doing what you like.
I think it's depend on the person, how that person is seeing, from which side that person is seeing a photography. Yeah, it was never in my life before to have like material interest in photography. It was like a hobby always, and the place where I always had like a really big pleasure, even if I'm having that connection with the people, that was already something very interesting and challenging for me. And I don't know, maybe it will be in the future something that some amount that will be interesting for me, but I'm not sure. I'm not seeing these things what I'm doing right now as like my main profession, and I have this idea about photography that I've had an opportunity to do that as like my main profession, but I discovered that I don't want it to do that, because if I will take it like a profession, then I'm losing that pleasure what I'm having here.
Yeah, this is for sure a lot of people think in that way, but I will say, and sorry if I stop you, it's not always true. I know a lot of people, a lot of photographers that they not survive. They make money for real, and they continue to go just in the street every day taking picture.
Yeah, I think in that in this, for this situation, Vivian Mayer will be a really good, very good example, because she was taking amazing portraits, amazing street art, and we don't know nothing about her. We don't know why she was taking that. Maybe that's another example of that. And on the other side, maybe we will have another professional photographer, for example, Joel Meyerowitz, who had like a great career.
We cannot probably talk about Vivian Mayer because it's a totally different time, totally different situation, and especially there was not really an open world for the female photographer. It was much more difficult to come out from that, and we have a historical document about that they say that most of the woman photographer, they were in a way or another related to artist or male photographer that promoted them. And this is the big differences between our century and the century of Vivian Mayer. We have Vivian Mayer just for even a lucky situation, because imagine I was founding Vivian Mayer. I had not the money to then work on the picture of her, developing and founding every exhibition, every project, and this is the point. I mean, more or less, is also about who is the person found that. And I mean, there is a really interesting documentary about that and explain really good the story. But I mean, he was able to also market that. And this is not everyone can do it. I mean, I don't know many editors they can permit themselves to market in that way. And this is the big difference. But yeah, if we want to jump then to Joel Merovitz, in the end, more or less, he did what else he wanted. I mean, we can say William Klein is the same, Araki, Nobuyoshi Araki is the same, Deido Moriyama is the same. I mean, I can go on for really a lot, and even Sebastian Salgado. So we have a ton of names we can say that, yeah, for sure, in a way or another, they were more lucky than others. That's don't say some other photographers are not good enough or they are not master, because let's say, for example, there are photographers either like Michel Hagerman or Antoine Dagata that now they are marketing. I mean, they are making marketing now, but not at the level of Joel Merovitz. And I mean, we are talking about different level, but they have a market and they not survive. They make money, because if you want to do it a workshop with Antoine Dagata, then you have to spend around 5,000 euro, 10,000 euro for stay 7 days with him. I mean, they got something, they are getting something now, but as I know, because I studied with one of the person did the International Center of Photography with them in the 60s. They spent a lot of money, to make International Center of Photography. Today, just to pay your first semester, you have to pay $10,000, and then probably after 3-4 years of investment, you can get in touch with someone that probably will love your work and then promote it. But it's not, it's not a common thing, and it's not ever easy to relate to some kind of project. Your kind of project in this case talk about humans, and I think in a way or another, your kind of photography is more relevant to the documentation itself in the moment. And yeah, I think will be a really good jump when you will start to then reporting these people, and to really understand, to really go deep in what make them character and not what make them human. Because it's really interesting to see the point of view that I have in front of me, a human, and I can see the real differences between all of them, but only in the aesthetical part, in the surface. And then there is this exploration. I think it's much more great that you can do it with your photography, because you have your aesthetic, you have your technical is okay, it's good, and so on. So you know how to use the camera. And now I think, and I believe that you know how to appreciate with someone to take a shoot, because it's there and it's something you are communicating with your images. And I think what is the next point is to go deep and then to find the treasure. Let's say they are shell and you have just to find the pearl.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's what you said about photographers we were speaking about. I'm totally agree with you that time was totally different that time when, for example, Vivian Mayer was living, but that's the century where Diane Arbus as well was born, and she was doing totally different photography, and it was maybe subjects that no one interested, but after time it became like mainstream of visual arts nowadays, I would say. And
we are talking about some topic that I studied a lot, and in many years in different situation, and then related to many different things. But Diane Arbus was not the only one was working same years about this topic. There was so many director of movie, even like Elephant Man, that was a really particular movie that shocked the American country. and was a topic in the same years. And even more, I will tell you, there is a documentary about the monster of circus that was in a way prohibited to show in America until the 90s and was made in the 40s. So then there were a lot of people was working on this situation, even on the drugs and the fight of the Black Panther. There was a lot of situation was relating to that. Graffiti was the same. So look, in a way, yeah, we think about sometimes some of these photographers, they were working on something there other that was not working, but it's not really like that, because in the centuries there are many different topic and research that was made in the same time. And I will just give you an example. A good example is to work, for example, about the work of Alfredo Jarre, where he were totally opposite to what other people was doing. And in the moment, every reporter was sent to Rwanda, in Rwanda for the genocide, he decided to don't shoot the report of this genocide and just to provide a visual communication with an idea and a suggestion provided just from the eyes of this woman he found in the church, and was the only one survivor in the church. Between 500 people was dead around there, and he decided to shoot the eyes of this woman, and the project is the eyes of Godete Merita that you can see. And this Rwanda project took 20 years of him life, and there was really a challenge, because he chose to show totally, he chose to don't do it what he was sent to doing for and was paid to do it for, to provide totally another message. And I think the usage of photography sometimes is not only to relate to what we have in front of us, but also to don't relate to what we have in front of us, and to probably see more what is behind and not what is in front of us.
Yeah, exactly. It's always one phrase came to me why we are shooting, to have an answers, or on the contrary, questions to arise, like what the main reason when we are taking the pictures. If we are taking pictures to have some result, to find an answers, then it's another thing. But to have to do totally different thing that will help us to have questions, to have a new ideas how this world is living right now. It's like totally different for me. And I think that's it's the idea what we are discussing right now.
It's really simple, the reason why we take pictures, but it's not really simple the reason why we choose to keep them. This is totally different. I mean, I think photography as philosophy starts to be a philosophy, a tool, or as makes sense, as make value in the moment, not when we shoot a shoot. So when you shoot a frame, but in the moment we want to reserve this frame. And there is a second choice, there is an intention, and there is an intention where you really think about, especially if you shoot with film. Most of the time, yeah, I think, as you know, because you experience it also, I think that you shoot a picture and this picture is not anymore there, and you burn the film, no? So then it's not a lot about what you take in the street or what you take in the documentary or what else you research, but it's more what you keep and then what you show to others. And there the question are a bit more strongly and a bit more complicated to give to yourself and to give also to others. But why we shoot picture, I mean, it's totally clear why we try to keep in touch with the people, why we try to read, why we accumulate in a way or another is totally clear. And is all related to our sensibilities, our curiosity, and our also way to reserve something in our life, to make something for ourselves that remain there, because in a way or another we are subject that lose something in our life. So in a way or another, we are our goal will be always to lose something, to lose the life, to lose the parents, to lose the love. So in a way or another, we try to just accumulate something we think is about ourselves, and sometimes we don't think is about ourselves. But I'm 100% sure, and probably this is provocative, but I think everything we shoot, everything we do, it is totally related to ourselves. And if we choose to take picture or of naked people, of crazy stuff, of just the wall, of the tails of macro, or what else, it's totally related to our subconscious. And even if we think that we have the control, that we will never have the control of 100% of that, because it's totally about the influence we had in our life. And sometimes it's something that we have from when we were born, and we were not really conscious about what we were doing or what we were watching.
Yeah, exactly. And I think something to keep alive, it's like always necessary to always be in an action, always in a movement. And that's why we have such a beautiful history of photography, and we will see what will be in a couple of years later. I think as much more time goes, much more interesting photography becomes, and that's an idea, I guess.
It's amazing. I think it's this word actor is amazing, because everyone has the opportunity to take photograph, and then in a way or another, every day we can discover something totally new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we can see also the same shit every day, and that's the other point. But thank you a lot for the time we spent together today to talk about this different topic, and it was really nice for me to talk with you about that, to discuss a bit also. And she is Sopiko Makharadze. I said good this time. And if you want to see the work of her, and you want to read something also, you can follow her on Instagram. Link is in the description. I will link also the interview she did with the lomography. I think it is interesting. And I hope that someone in a way or another will find you out, and will teach you, I mean, metaphorically, to let you understand that probably you can make a life with the life of others. I mean, this is really particular. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you too. And thank you for that, what you're doing for us, for like photographers, hobby photographers, or for everyone, that you're supporting us, and that you're giving us that opportunity to raise our voice and to leave our messages in this society. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and if you want to learn more about us, you can visit the link allmylinks.com, Berlin Explorer, or our website BEEXproject.com. And if you want to follow us, you can always get news from Instagram on our account BEEX Project. Thank you again, and see you in the next episode.